Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, about 7:30. I have my first patient coming in the door here at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm going to do some morning massages. Tomorrow we're going to roll out a couple of videos. The first one's going to be for my buddy Hawk. He's got some plantar fasciitis problems, and we're going to address how he can self-treat. The other one is going to be a video for my good friend Micey out in Arizona. Micey's having some hip problems, and along with that one we're also going to do Sophie from Scotland. She's having some spinal stenosis problems. Sounds like she has good core, but some issues going on there. But anyways, we're going to give her some tricks and tips as to how to self-treat that as well. Then we're going to do one more video for, hold on, let me find his name here. What's his name? We're going to do another video for a guy by the name of Chris Acone. Chris Acone, I think. Anyway, hiker. He's got some problems with his IT bands. So anyway, you're probably asking why do I think I'm an expert as to telling people how that they can self-treat themselves. Stick around. I'm going to tell you why. Hey everybody. So it is Sunday morning. I'm on my way to the office to do about 6 hours of massages today. But I wanted to post out a real quick video explaining to you why I'm an expert at helping people with their injuries out on the trail. So if you did not know it, I'm a licensed massage therapist here in Indiana. I've been doing massage for a little over 28 years. It's a long freaking time. I actually started out doing massage by accident. I originally went to school to become an accountant. I was a big auditor for a hotel out on the West Coast, and I loved my job. However, I hated the people that I worked with. So finding mistakes in numbers, it was like a gigantic Sudoku for me. So I love that aspect of it. But it seemed like a lot of the people that I worked with were older people at that time, and all they were doing was going to work for a paycheck, and that kind of brought me down. And I guess I wasn't interested in that. It paid well, especially at that age. I mean, I was making buku bucks at, age of 18. But anyway, I used to take martial arts, and I was pretty good at it. I liked fighting. I did a lot of full contact and point sparring. Was not into kata. But anyways, yes, I love to fight. So anyway, when I got my first black belt, my education, back then I was like 98 pounds soaking wet. So I decided that I wanted to learn how to hurt people with less effort on my part. So after I got my first black belt, I decided to go to massage school just to learn about trigger points in the body. So that way I could learn how to hurt people with less effort on my part. And at 98 pounds, I needed all the help that I could get. So went to massage school just to learn how to hurt people. Came out of massage school, wanting to help people. So that was how I kind of got started. I've been doing it ever since. I love it. I'm self-employed, so I work under people, but I'm subcontracted, so I'm kind of an unusual massage therapist because a lot of people work for a big chain, that kind of stuff, but I just have not ever really worked for anybody. I kind of do my own thing. At one point I had 3 offices, 24 massage therapists working for me, and it was almost too big. It was like babysitting. It wasn't fun. So a couple years ago I had the opportunity to kind of split everybody up and drop everything that was an inconvenience and stressful. And when I did that, it kind of opened things up for me quite a bit. I've studied at least, I think last time I counted, I've studied 24 modalities of massage. The last modality that I studied was called onsen, O-N-S-E-N. I actually went to Canada in order to get my training for it, and I did a really intensive class, very, very demanding. And I'm one of like a very small handful of massage therapists in the United States that practice onsen. I think as far as East Coast goes, there's only 3 of us. There's a gal in St. Louis. There's also me in Indianapolis, and then there's another lady in Florida, I believe. And so anyway, a lot of the onsen therapists are all out on the West Coast because that was where it was developed and originated. But the only place that I could find an education for it was the lady that the onsen trademark was passed down to, and her name is Linda Leeson up in Canada. And oh my God, amazing, amazing. But anyways, it's really catapulted my massage practice to a whole new level. It's really been incredibly beneficial, especially as far as my athletes go, because this technique was pretty much designed specifically for athletes in mind. And I can go on and on about how great it is. But I can tell you this, in my massage practice, the first time that I worked on a lady, and I have a lot of confidence in my massage. However, as far as onsen goes, I'm scared shitless, because I don't know what it's going to do or how it's going to perform for everybody. And I'm still going through that, I'm kind of like new phase, and I imagine it'll take me years to really perfect it and feel comfortable. But man, that lady, what an idiot. Anyway, sorry. I think it's gonna take a long time for me to feel comfortable with onsen as much as I do as my confidence in my regular massage practice, but it's getting there. But the first time that I did a massage, this lady came to me. I don't know her from Adam. She was referred to me from one of my regular clients, and she says, you know, Jen's been doing this new technique and maybe it'll help you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh God, I'm not a miracle worker here, people. But anyway, so this lady gets on my table. We go through her assessment. We do her corrections, and I tell her to get up off the table and walk into my living room area and then walk back and tell me where her pain is at. And I'm kind of like really, really nervous. But she walks into the kitchen, comes back, she starts crying. I'm like, oh, shit, what have I done? Anyway, this lady basically breaks down and she says, oh my God, what have you done to me? And when she says that, I'm thinking, oh my God, I made it worse. And she says, this is the first time in 7 years that I haven't had any pain. And I was just like, I broke down crying. But she's been seeing chiropractors and PTs, and she's been getting spinal shots, and just a plethora of treatment over the last 7 years. And none of that, including like the shots, have only lasted like a short amount of time, and really have not given her any relief at all. But through onsen, it actually gave her, she got off the table and she felt visibly different, and she was so excited. So anyway, her whole deal was, she was hoping that all I could do was get her through, her Medicaid kicked in like last August or 2 Augusts ago or something like that. And so she wanted to get through just to that surgery. And
And if I could help her get through her pain until then, just make it a little bit less, that's all what she was hoping for. She did not expect for me to take the pain away. She says it's the first time that somebody's actually listened to her, and actually she felt like somebody, you know, did something about it. So it's pretty cool. So not only has she not went and done surgery, she's kind of completely put it all off altogether for right now. So that's where we're going to leave it until Onsen does not treat it anymore. So that's really cool. So, like I said, I love massage. So people ask all the time, you know, why are you an expert? And I kind of giggle because I don't really think of myself as an expert. If somebody, I guess, in the massage arena thinks that they're this expert, I think their head's way too big for their shoulders. Maybe I don't know. I think being humble is good. But, I mean, I can't fix everybody. I'd like to. I wish massage worked for everybody, but it doesn't. But I think if you ask your regular massage therapist why do they do massage, I would hope that their answer is because they love it. Because they love to help and to heal people. If you have a massage therapist that their answer includes anything that is regarding money, I would almost run from them. Because if their first and foremost goal is about the money that they're making, basically they're putting money in front of you as a patient on the table. And don't get me wrong, there's money in massage. I make a very good living at what I do. And I'm very well provided for, but money is not my first and foremost goal. I don't know. I love massage. I giggle that people pay me to finger paint on their body with lotion. I mean, how cool of a job is that? People get off the table and they have the drunk, happy look, and they're all rummy, and literally at that point I could probably say your massage is $1,000 and they would probably pay it. Massage is really cool. You rarely hear complaints. I mean, rarely do you hear somebody come in and say, hey, your massage sucks. It just doesn't happen. You might hear, you know, my wife's a pain in the neck, or my husband is on my last nerve, that kind of stuff. But for the most part, you don't hear derogatory comments about you and what you perform to the, you know, on somebody's body. If somebody doesn't like what you do, they just don't come back, which is fine too. It's really important as a patient on the table that you find the right massage therapist that fits your needs and your personality. And if you're not getting what you need from your massage therapist, then you should go to another one. Keep searching, because you know what? Massage therapists are a dime a dozen. And that's something else too around in this local area. We have about 6 massage schools in the area. So this area is highly concentrated with massage therapists. But what we find is that the average lifespan of a massage therapist here in this area is maybe 3 to 6 years, because the competition's so tough. Also because a lot of massage therapists, like I said, they get into it because of money. And it's kind of funny because, like, the massage schools are pumping out commercials that say you too can make $90 an hour. Well, you can make $90 an hour, but the thing is that they don't tell you is that you can't do 8 hours of massage, especially as a brand new massage therapist coming out of school. You don't have the stamina, and 9 times out of 10 you don't have the following to do 8 massages a day. So not only does your practice build with your stamina, you know, but your income will too. So anyway, massage is a tough, it's very strenuous, and it's a tough career to get into. It takes you probably a minimum, if you have some good business sense, it's going to take you a minimum of, I would almost say, about 3 years just to build your practice. I don't know, I'm kind of lucky that I had that business background, and I built my business virtually twice now, because I switched locations from Oregon to Indiana. Anyway, I don't know. I love massage. I hope that other massage therapists love it as much as I do. So does it make me an expert? No, but my experience probably does. I'm so far removed from school that I don't have the book smarts that a brand new therapist has coming out of school, but they don't have my hands-on. So a combination of the two would be great. And that's not to say that I don't take my education classes every year, that kind of stuff. It's just that I don't remember the exact origins and insertions of every single muscle, because I already know where they're at and how they run and what they do and how they react. So knowing the legalities is not as important to me anymore. Anyway, I don't know. I can't say enough about massage. I love it. Does it make me an expert just because I love it? No. But anyway, I don't know. I've studied a lot. I've seen a lot on my table. There's very few things. It would kind of almost shock me nowadays to see something new. So that's kind of cool. Somebody will get on the table and they think they're really unique, and I'm like, nope, seen it before, done it. So, I don't know. Anyway, I love my massage practice. My massage resume, since I've been doing massage for so long, I've worked with the Indianapolis Colts, the Indiana Fever, the Pacers, the Indiana Ice before that organization dissolved. And then I've also done quite a bit of work for the LPGA Legends. An interesting little fact about my pro male athletes versus my female pro athletes. The men, to be honest, as a whole, I mean, I had my favorites, there's no doubt, but the men as a whole, I think, I'm not sure if it's money, if it's ego, or what the deal is, but the men are, I didn't enjoy working on the men as much as I did on the women. My female pro athletes are, they're kind, they're generous, they're appreciative, they're thankful. Men, if they have a bad day playing football, basically it's the PT's fault, it's the massage therapist's fault, it's everybody's fault except for theirs. They pawn it off, on somebody else. The women, they take full responsibility. I don't know, I would work for the Indiana Fever again, and almost even the LPGA for free, just for the fact that they are so appreciative and so kind. I can't say that they really, really paid well, but yet on the other hand, the perks that they give you is incredible. So that was kind of a cool thing working for them. The men definitely paid better, but the women had better perks. But the women were thankful and they were appreciative. They knew you by name. You were part of their family. You were invited to everything. I don't know. I just really enjoyed working with my female athletes versus the men. And I think as time progresses, I'm sure that I probably will solely work on nothing but the women. In the future, it looks like I'm signed up to go to the next Summer Olympics and work for the next Summer Olympics, so I'm kind of excited about that opportunity. I was actually supposed to go to the Summer Olympics, the last ones, in Rio, and had to back out at the last minute due to some health issues. And also, I wasn't really too sure about the health conditions down there in Rio. But yeah, so my resume is pretty vast. My clientele includes newborn babies all the way up to my oldest client right now is 96. She's incredible. She still drives herself to and from everywhere except for when the weather's bad. She won't drive in the snow. You know, not only am I working on just your regular client, but yeah, I work all the way to the professional. Oh look, little tiny house. Oh. Anyway, so not only am I working on, you know, professional athletes, but I'm also working on a regular clientele. I probably work way more than any massage therapist I know. And it's not just because I'm a glutton for punishment, but if somebody calls crying, I'm a sucker for somebody who cries, and so I put them right into my schedule. I work 5, 6, 7 days a week sometimes. My average day is anywhere from probably 6 to 10 hours of massage. I don't know any massage therapist in my area here that can keep up doing as much massage as I do, especially the deep tissue work that I do. So, I don't know. I always tell my patients, you know, hey, if you can find another massage therapist that does a better job, that's cheaper than I am, you should probably be going to them. So, consequently, I've kept my patients. I've got one patient, gosh, I've seen him for going on 20 years. So he's like been with me the longest. And he's a tad bit spoiled, and because I know his body so well, our massages are always very interesting. But yeah, if there's another massage therapist out there in my area that does as much massage as I do, I haven't heard of him. So, most of the massage therapists, like I said, in this area, it's hard to keep up with them because they come and they go so quickly. And there's maybe only about 10 that I can think of that have been maybe even doing massage longer than 20 years. But those women are also, well, first of all, they're women. But the other thing, too, is that those 10 massage therapists, most of them are in their 60s, almost pushing 70s. And I'm only 46. So as far as massage therapy goes, I'm kind of considered a young but old dog. So it's kind of funny. I have a lot of, I have a 60-year-old, I think she's 62. She started doing massage about 10 years ago. And it's really odd for somebody of her age to come to me and say, hey, I've got a problem with this. How do I do this? How do I fix this person? You know, what kind of tricks or tips do you have that I could do to help this person? And it kind of blows me away that, you know, here's this 62-year-old woman that has all this life experience, but yet I'm the person that she comes to for, you know, I don't know. It just kind of blows my mind. But anyway, massage is really cool. I love it. I'm very fortunate to have found something that pays me to do what I love. I don't think there's too many people out there that work a job that they absolutely love what they do, and they get paid for something that they love to do. So, am I ever going to retire? Probably not. I mean, I love massage so much that the only reason why I would quit is if I physically can no longer do massage. So, anyway, I'm an expert, I guess, because of my experience, but I guess I'm also an expert just for the fact that I love what I do, and I'm always educating myself and pushing myself to a new boundary to figure out how to help somebody. Anyway, I love massage. That's all I got.
Okay, there's a couple of general rules that every massage therapist should be preaching to you about. The first and foremost one is always water. Your water intake is key to keeping your body healthy. Average adult needs to be getting in about 64 ounces of water a day. For every pop you drink or every cup of coffee you drink, you need to drink 2 equal amounts to equal what the caffeine takes out of your system. So around here we have this place called Rickers, and Rickers puts out these gigantic 32 ounces of pop and everybody drinks them. And for my caffeine drinkers, I'm like, okay, you gotta drink 2 Rickers pops in order, and they're like dying thinking about it. But what it does is caffeine's very dehydrating, so it basically makes your muscles shrink up and shrivel up like close to your spine like this. And those rocks that you have up here in like your shoulder blades, 9 times out of 10, those are simply nothing more than just lack of water. So water is really, really key. So you got to work on your water. On average, I'm probably getting in about close to a gallon of water a day. And a lot of you are probably thinking, holy hell, I'd be pissing myself if I drank that much water. Your body will adjust, I promise. It seems like a lot, but what happens is in the first week of drinking more water, you gotta stay consistent. Because what happens is if you drink 5 days of really good water and then you get to the weekend and you don't drink that water consistently, you're right back to square one. So it's really, really, really important to drink the water consistently. If you start drinking the water consistently, and I don't care what your number is, if it's 32 for right now, great. If it's 64, great. If it's 128, great. Pick a number and stick with it every single day. What happens is when your body starts being consistent, instead of peeing out, what's gonna happen is the body's gonna start taking the water to where it needs to go. So water consistency is really, really important. Normally, the first place that you start to notice is about week 1. You're gonna notice that your skin's more supple, you have less wrinkles, your skin feels softer. At about week 2, maybe week 3, that's when your muscles starts to get to your muscles. Your muscles are gonna feel more pliable, more like rubber bands. So that way when you overwork them, abuse them, misuse them, they bounce back to their original form. So water, super duper key. Less caffeine, more water, really important. The next thing a massage therapist is probably gonna talk to you about is a vinegar bath or an Epsom salt bath. I push probably vinegar baths more than I do Epsom salts, and I have no idea why, it's just my preference. But 2 cups of apple cider vinegar to about a half full bath, you're gonna soak in it for about 20 minutes. If for some reason you can't get into a bath, take a spritzer bottle and you can spritz yourself while you're in the shower and just stand there with the vinegar on. What that does is the vinegar helps to adjust the pH level in your muscles. So whenever you overwork your body, misuse it, doing whatever, you have a lactic acid buildup, and the lactic acid buildup makes your muscles, that's what makes them sore. So in order to adjust that, if you do a vinegar soak, the vinegar will help to adjust the pH level in your muscles. So that's why vinegar baths are important after your massages, because we kind of milk that lactic acid out of the muscles, and something good to flush it is to drink more water and to also get in a vinegar bath. The next thing that a massage therapist should talk about is inflammation in the body. The root of almost every disease in your body starts as inflammation. Cancer, most likely. If you had cancer, it started in your body as some kind of inflammation somewhere. Cancer is horrible. The part that really irritates me about inflammation in the body is somebody will go to the doctor, and the doctor will say, get home, use a heating pad. And that drives me crazy, because if you have, heating pads are good for about 1 out of 10 aches. The rest of the time, you should almost always be using ice. If you have inflammation in your body, you don't want to put more heat on that area, because when you put more heat in that area, it draws more blood and tissues out of there. It draws more blood and tissues to that area, causing more swelling, more pain, more throbbing. So do not use heat. Almost always do you want to use ice. Now somebody's probably out there saying, oh my God, I can't use heat, or I can't use ice. It's just too cold for me. So what you do, warm up the tissue with the heat. Use the ice. Go heat, ice, heat, ice, heat, ice. But always, 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 almost always end with ice. And then after you've iced it, you want to stretch it while it's numb. There's a few instances where you're not going to want to use ice. One of those cases are when you have problems with your IT bands. And we're going to talk about that in one of our next videos because somebody asked me they had some IT problems, so we're going to go over that. But for the most part, don't use heat, use ice. So you're going to drink water and you're going to use ice. And then after you've iced, you're going to stretch it while it's numb. A lot of people too will ask me about topicals that I use in my office. Most everybody knows about Biofreeze. Biofreeze is pretty much the standard. I used to use Biofreeze all the time, and then when I found this other product called Sombra, S-O-M-B-R-A, Sombra worked so well and I liked it so much that the Biofreeze rotted on my shelf before I ever used it again. So Sombra comes in let's call them two different flavors. But no, it's not really flavors. Two different types. The green one, and hopefully you can see that, was the original. And the green is now called Warming. Sombra wanted to keep up with the Biofreeze, and everybody's like, don't you have something cool? So they came out with the yellow, the cooling. I think that the original is more potent, and I think it works better. So most of the time, I almost always use this instead of the cooling. But you can choose whichever one you like, whichever one you think you need, but I think this one is better. It's the original. Most of the time, if I hand these little packages, the freebies out to clients of mine, I will tell them to put this on before they go to bed and put this on before they go work out. Normally people will tune into their pain at nighttime. That's when their body's at rest. That's when they notice that they have more pain. The rest of the time their mind is occupied with other things, so they don't realize how much pain that they're in. So anyway, I tell people to use the green right before they go to bed and the yellow if they're gonna go work out or do something during the day. So anyway, Sombra, I love it. When you put this stuff on, it'll tingle on you for about 20 minutes. And then after that, you don't feel it until you go to take a shower again. You take a shower or you do something that activates your body heat, and this stuff both of them will reactivate. So people will sometimes like get in the shower like 24 hours later and they're like, oh my God, my back started tingling again. And it was this stuff reactivating. So Biofreeze will not do that. Biofreeze is alcohol based, and I think that the minute that the alcohol dries up, it's done. Sombra is a different monster altogether. If for some reason somebody doesn't like it or their skin is too sensitive for it, a soapy washcloth will take it right off. So anyway, love Sombra. So anyway, these are a couple of things that every massage therapist should be talking to you about: your water, your caffeine, vinegar baths, inflammation that's going on in your body, using ice versus heat, and topicals that you may or may not use. Hopefully your massage therapist is talking to you about pretty much all of those in one form or another. So anyway, I hope some of this was useful. Anyway, if you have any questions or something that you're having problems with and you may need some help with it, don't hesitate to post your questions down in the comment section. Anyway, have a great day. One girl, attitude out.